7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Got me up the coast, boy. Wanna hear the ocean roar crash over me. Then ride it home, dance it out in moonlight. Hold me tight and don't let go. Watch over me. We are all stardust, stardust, stardust. Left behind, left to find. Find one another, face the sun, fear no one. 'Cause we are all one, we are all one. We are all one, we are all one. We are all. Pick me up, yeah, moonchild, put me into overflow. Superstar.
Hello, guys. Hello. I walked away for a second because I was hurried and got a drink during the introduction. Sorry to confuse you. Hey, little Miss Sunshine. Whistle while you work. And Shannon. Tin. Biscuit Head. I remember you told me, I can't remember who you said you were now. I remember you emailing me and telling me who you were, but now I already forget. I haven't been live for like ever, it seems like. Except on I went live on Empress Siggy, I guess, for a little bit. But I don't even know what I'm going to be even talking about exactly. But I'm sure we'll come up with something. Anybody, you were kind of getting worried? Well, here's the link if anybody wants to join panel. Let's see. Oh, let me pin it. Thank God you're awake and bored. My sleeping schedules got weird again. You know, sometimes maintenance accompanies them, so I want my house to smell good. So, what has been going on today? What do you mean with Laura getting arrested? What's that mean? She hasn't been arrested again, if that's what, as far as I was just talking to her like literally minutes ago, so. Yeah, the link's at the top Unbroken if you want to. It'll probably be just a chilled, laid back live because, I mean, I wouldn't think very many people will be here because of how late it is. Dog make the house smell, yeah. JLR said, whatever his name is, said Fred's girlfriend was arrested today. What? Nuh-uh. Are you sure? Because I would have heard that from somebody more than I would have heard that more than one person. If that were true, I would think. Uh, and I don't see anything about. Hey,
Hi.
how's it going?
Good. I'm not used to using my phone. It's so weird.
Oh, really? You don't use
Yeah,
it. You don't use it for like TikTok live.
well, I do for TikTok, but not StreamYard.
So how's it going? I haven't talked to you for a while. Sorry,
Eh,
I've
it's going good.
I
How
am.
have you been?
Oh, it's going better. It's going better. PG booted Doug.
How do I see the comments? Can I do that?
You should be
Oh,
able
there they
to.
are. Yeah, I
JL or
see it
what?
now.
Said Fred's girlfriend was arrested today. So I don't see anything about Fred's girlfriend being arrested. That's not true. Um, stop, bandit. Come here. But not in Hawkins County. No, she isn't. Moo is still angry, is she? She was on another live in the last few hours. What do you mean on another live? She was in the chat. I know that for a second until she realized um, the type of people she was dealing with.
Who are you talking about?
Oh, Laura,
Mm.
Fred Hill's girlfriend. So I guess Tiffany Marie reached out to her, but of course the message was very condescending and like basically, oh, you need to answer for yourself type thing. I don't know what the I don't know what she figures she needs to answer for, but okay. Yeah, I just talked to her. Go check for me. Well, she was arrested at one. I mean, she was arrested at when was it? The third. I can't, for some reason I'm wanting to think the 13th or the 23rd of July, right? Yeah, she was in jail for a couple weeks. I
For
agree, Shan. TM is a rude, unlikable fake ass. And I told Laura, I said, now she goes, who the hell is Tiffany Marie? I said, oh, just like the I'm one of the biggest trolls on YouTube. That's what I said. I said her and Benny are like the biggest trolls. But I go, just do I said, do what you want though. I'm just saying they can be assholes if you don't do what they say or what they want, or if you don't, you know, if you don't move on demand. Burn Barrel said the DNA was submitted. How she, really?
I am so behind. What DNA?
The parents' DNA. Uh, Dawn and Candace says
Yeah, I've been.
supposedly they're going to submit it to a database called NamUs, where
Yeah.
I don't know. Supposedly they did it. I don't know. I wouldn't believe it until I absolutely saw proof because,
Namus is like missing people.
yeah,
And I believe it also has like Jane Doe, John Doe bodies that are found.
yeah, and that's why we figured. I mean, that's why we figured we would. You would think that they would have already had their DNA submitted or something like that, or somebody would have told them to, or I don't know. It's 2 years later, and they're
Yeah.
now doing it supposedly.
Well, I know John Ramsey was talking at a crime con. I believe it was at the end of last year. And they got brought up, or something got brought up about like familial DNA being
Hmm.
able to like match. And he wanted to do that to try to catch who unalived his daughter. Maybe they saw something about it, and that's why the 2 year delay. But that wouldn't make sense to name us. That would make sense to put it into like a 23andMe and those kind of databases. But that's
Well,
really that isn't that like the first thing they do when a kid goes missing is take DNA from the parents?
I would think so, but I guess not. I don't know. I would think so.
Well, here's why I
Hey,
wanted to come
Margie.
in and what I was calling you for. It's like
Uh-uh.
so past it, but that Don Wells call that you played that one night when he said he picked up the 14-year-old and was like, "What are you doing? Like, let me take you home." That whole call was bullshit.
What? What do you mean?
When
Oh, I'm
so
sure. I'm sure he's always full of bullshit. Who knows what?
yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
the thing is like the way like because clearly that girl was being trafficked. Um if he did pick her up, he picked her up as someone that knew her very well because nobody would take them back to their house. And he seemed to have pretty good details of what was in the house and who was in the house. So I think it sounded to me like he was trying to cover a story before the story came out, if that makes sense.
yeah, I'm trying to think kind of
Because he does
what
that a
you're talking
lot.
about. I don't know what story. I don't
He said
remember.
that he was
He's had
driving
so many
down,
he's had so
yeah,
many weirdo type
he said he
experiences.
was driving down a road and he saw a 14-year-old girl and said, "What are you doing? Let me take you home." And it was, I believe, a black woman that had like a white kid or maybe the opposite. And they let him in the house and he was
He seems to have a whole bunch of those type of experiences though, because
exactly.
he's told me he a few times. I remember which one you're talking about. Yeah, he's had a few of those. Because I was thinking it was a younger girl because he had another one that was supposedly after Summer went missing, and the girl was like, or it was like a girl, or I don't know if it was a little girl, or I think it was a little girl, and he like supposedly walked into their house and was like, I mean, just walked into the people's house
They
and
don't,
saying,
yeah.
I don't
They don't
know.
do that. They don't. And it's like, remember that one video we watched on the Zoom, just me and you? And I was like, he has an answer for everything before it comes up. Like he had the whole story about her. Well, she was taken down that way and picked up on the road at the end of the hill. Like it's like he's giving himself away in so many different things. But in that phone call, like, yeah, I think someone said California, and it was, no girl that's being trafficked is going to bring someone to the house to meet their trafficker or sex worker to the pimp, or however you want to word it, unless they know there's somebody that they can trust. So if that story is true, which I kind of think it is true that this really did happen, it just didn't happen the way that he said it. And now he's made up this like fabricated story of what went on to make it, oh, well, I was just worried about the girl. I just brought her home kind of thing, in
Yeah,
case he ever got caught.
sorry. I just saw Tiffany in the chat. Tiffany, I was going to read it. What I don't stop acting like. What is she talking about? Okay, she's saying I lied about what? Wait, you're so gross. Can't tell a simple truth about anything. I didn't tell Laura she had to do anything. I didn't tell her she needed to answer for anything. I kindly extend. Nobody said you did tell her that she had to answer for anything. But I mean, in the chat, in this message, you do say something like, you say, oh, oops, you keep dropping. I don't know why. And you say, "Hi, Laura. My name is Tiffany. I've never been introduced to you, but I hear you on Ziggy's and sure did listen to what you had to say. This evening, a friend of mine was contacted by a local from the creek who brought forth some information they believe to be factual and truthful about your current situation. I'd like to give you the opportunity to tune in by sharing the live stream link, which I will provide to you. I'm not sure if you are busy or not, but we would also like to extend you the opportunity to answer for yourself. See, that's what I'm saying right there. To answer for yourself is what I mean. That part right there is like, because it's just the way you say things, Tiffany. To answer for yourself to limit any further confusion or misinformation. I know that you don't use YouTube regularly. I heard you say you don't come on often, so I understand if you're reluctant or not able. We don't operate the way most creators do on the platform. We don't operate the way most creators on the platform do. My friend is very fair, my friend, and will treat you with much respect and make sure you are comfortable. He is willing to compensate you for your time. Either he or I will handle that. Getting information from people close to Ben Hill happens frequently, but usually it's not information like what was communicated to him this evening. I understand this is short notice and it should not take too much of your time at all. We would rather have the correct information directly from the source, which is why I'm contacting you. I hope you get this, and if you happen to receive this after the live stream takes place, that is okay also. Blah, blah, blah. I give you my number. So that was just a message.
Our dog is still haunting you, huh?
Yeah, and huh? Hold on. Yeah, I've never ever went to her and said I've never said I'm going to compensate anybody, but I mean, whatever she wants to. It doesn't matter. That's fine. But she didn't really say anything rude. It just the one part about if you would like to the opportunity answer for yourself. I'd like to extend you the opportunity answer for yourself. That sounds just, I don't know, like you're doing her some kind of favor. Oh shit, I didn't mean it. I just accidentally called her.
I do that all the time.
But I just told her to do what she wanted. I said that you could be combative. But anyways, I'm not gonna. Benny, I'm not gonna. Supposedly, Benny is down there. I'm not gonna argue with him. Did she give Laura a? Oh my gosh. Did I don't even understand what did I even say that was so upsetting to Tiffany? I'm trying to think what it could possibly be.
Maybe you breathed.
Huh?
Maybe you like breathed.
Oh, possibly. I don't know. No, I'm trying to think what I possibly said.
Mm.
You woke up today? Wait, what? Anywho, yeah, right. I'm not trying to argue right now, honestly. Yeah, I did hear about that they were talking shit about the live, and so I can't imagine that they would be too nice to her. I don't know. Tim, you didn't. What is he doing? What is he doing? Oh God, here we go. Here we go. Hey,
How you doing?
hey, Kenny.
How you doing, Miss Ziggy?
Good. How? What's up?
Well, no, I just wanted to. She wrote. Tiffany wrote what I asked her to send over to her because I don't do the Facebook thing. So what she meant by the for yourself, it was. I think maybe you emphasized the enunciation a little bit different than what I think Tiffany had intended. And it it was I guess it was left open that way, but it was like some information that had come in terms of that message. Did you post that message? It was to Julie from Fred or whatever, or was that someone else?
No, I didn't post that. That that was his sis. That's his sister. That's what K Crime posted.
Oh, okay. So it was
Yeah,
just like,
they don't get. I don't think they get along very. They don't get along very well. I get. They've never had a really great
right?
relationship.
No, and and I think that it wasn't to beat her up at all. It was because so much of the stuff has been made public, and then other people come forward with new information, and so it was really about how the information had developed. You know what I mean? And then it sort of developed back to the Brandon guy, and I didn't get a chance to show that video, excerpts of that video, but strange how it kind of came around full circle, all the connections and
Brandon. Well, who's Brandon?
the guy that lives in Light Hollow that
Oh, okay.
JLR went on a walk with, right?
Okay. Okay.
So it was just I shouldn't say strange, because it's not strange. That's their network, their community, and so I shouldn't say strange, but um, it's interesting because with the two names, Pat Wilcox and Jeff Everly, Laura said that her and Fred stopped and helped him on the 15th, the day that Summer went missing. His motorcycle allegedly broke down, so he was
Yeah.
somewhere in the Beach Creek area, and it was just it was a lot to digest, and
There
I
was an Everly guy, supposedly, who Everly, that's the name. Yeah,
yeah,
that he helped broke down on a motorcycle.
right,
Supposedly is the one that's come to find
correct.
out and that snitched on Fred too.
He made two control buys, so
Yeah,
um,
so
when he's, and I got some information kind of late last week that sort of put, and again, I'm not saying it's factual at all, but it put Laura with Jeff Everly and Kayla Matthews and a group of those people, and I just thought it was a very interesting sort of turn of events, and I think that one of the things that I had said, maybe you can forward the message, is whatever it is, like, Fred needs to really try to get on the right side of this, because the polygraph, if you read the question, the very first question was, did he plan this with someone else? So
mhm.
what that verbiage it tells you is that they're trying to gel this up to a first degree murder situation, a premeditated murder. Like that's the first question. So that's very serious.
Yeah,
That's
I think that
super serious.
I think what had happened is I don't know exact. I would like to know because I asked Laura tonight. I said, "What is it that exactly? What information did he supposedly have of the murder scene that he wasn't supposed to have? Of Cotton's murder scene?"
Well,
She's
whatever it was,
trying to find out.
he's not down there. I mean, this is the thing. The man died in February 14th. So this is almost the third week in August. So that's quite a while to still have what was initially thought to be an accident open, and they don't clear accidents by polygraphing folks, right? And asking them, did they plan to hurt them? That's not the way they solidify those. So that Cotton's case is still open, right?
Yeah,
There's
which is really strange because I talked to a family member and they were under the. I think that they were something Fred must have said must have opened his case back up because it was, according to the family, they were under the impression that it was closed, and it was an accident. So he was talking about something to do with the Summer Wells case and something he had said about Cotton's uh, death had made them look at him kind of sus like. So I don't know what exactly what was said.
whatever it was. It definitely was problematic, because if you were to believe, so this is the deal. Like he must have had some information about Cotton for a false confession type deal, or anything like false info. So what he said was accurate, but in that affidavit, you understand that he said it while being questioned about an unrelated event. He was getting questioned about a whole nother case, and he chose to talk about this very intimate information about about Cotton.
Yeah, because he
So
was talking about the Summer Wells case, and that's why.
yeah,
So that's how it got to. He was talking to them about the Summer Wells case, and
or he could have been talking to them about his own methamphetamine situation. You never know.
mm, I don't think so because they came, according to him, they came to him and asking him questions. So
Well, I mean, if he's telling the complete truth, then he's telling the truth. But imagine maybe he's reaching out to them. He wants to talk about all kinds of stuff. Like he's created a forum with them, or maybe they created a forum with him, and they're questioning him about something other than cotton. And so he releases that information. But what's interesting is that they believe him about the cotton stuff, or at least that he knows stuff that he really shouldn't know, by, by way of the way the word travels. So if he knows something about that, then he knows something about Summer. He's saying he knows something about Summer. So do you take that seriously? I don't know. I think you definitely take it with a grain of salt. However, it's these two events were alleged to happen sort of in the same region or area, which is strange.
Yeah. I asked Laura tonight, I said, do you think it's possible that he found out that Cotton did something to Summer and then Fred did something to Cotton because of it? That
I
and
don't
I
think that's possible.
and that's what
I mean, I don't see Fred throwing it all away to help Donnie out. Right? They're not the best of friends. They
no,
barely
it's not
see
to
each
help
other.
Don out. It's that he doesn't like a child, somebody that hurts a child. Um, I don't know. I don't know what to think. I
I feel like
wish
that
I
would be probably part. That would be, to me, in my opinion, solely my opinion. I feel like that's kind of a big stretch. Now, I don't. I'm not saying that Fred is involved with anything with children, but you hear Laura. She says that she heard out of Cotton's own mouth that that he was fooling around with Candace. Now, if that's true, then he would have like access to the hill and would know the comings and goings and this and that, like within reason, right? Relatively. So, do you believe her when she says this had a relationship with her or with him?
I think he might have or she might have overheard him talking like that. Like,
Hmm.
I don't know if he was honest. Some guys lie and say things like that.
Some,
Huh?
like some.
Yeah, some guys lie about sleeping with. I mean, I don't know who would lie about sleeping with Candace, but I don't
So
know. I heard he
you're
was an
right.
alcoholic.
So I don't know, but that she had a lot to say, and and I appreciate what she said. And on the flip side of that, I hope that that she can be helpful to Fred, and Fred can be helpful to her, because I identify that she's under an extreme amount of stress herself, and she's trying to stay sober, and and so she's on the track to do the right things. But inside of that, you've got this relationship that's looking like it's on the rocks. She's mad because the girlfriend sent him commissary money, and so that there's a lot of emotions flying around, and she's got her own legal situation she's looking at. That's in the forefront of all that for her. I'm sure he's got his own legal situation, but now,
I mean, she
um,
wasn't really happy about an ex sending him money or whatever, but
what
I
can
mean,
you do, right? As I
yeah, I don't think
understand, like,
he hasn't said anything about it for since, so I don't know.
so I don't know. There's a lot of stuff with the sister that's flashing around, and that that's problematic for Fred, because I hate to think that Lori would maybe do something that wouldn't be in Fred's best interest, in light of the battle with her and the sister. So I do wish some calm in that situation for them, because um, I think that everyone can be redeemed. I do. So that even means Fred, Don, like
I don't
everyone.
understand that dynamic between him and his sister. I don't get it at all.
Well,
I don't,
from what I understand, if you listen to Laura, she's a little bit. Laura's opinion is that Karen is a little bit upset, uh, because Fred wasn't interactive with her while she was, doing her piece in prison. So that's Laura's opinion of it, or one of her opinions, as I understand. So, You know, there's probably a lot of pathology there that we'll never understand, but it's problematic because when somebody initially told me that she may or may not be around Jeff Everly, who actually was the one that did the control buy, I didn't initially believe it. I was like, nah, that'd be a big leap going from with Fred to, you know, hanging out in a network where the guy that turned over on him actually is in. But then someone sent me some more information, and when you look it up, it puts all of the peripheral people together, right? All the rest of the people that Fred put in that I call it a plea. It's like a plea from Fred to Julie. The Fred plea, you know, he's got his motion of discovery, and it's not looking good because I'm guessing that Everly, he never suspected Everly, right? Like,
Right.
um, he never mentioned it to anyone else. He seemed to be completely dumbfounded when he got that information. So,
Right. And so was
yeah,
Laura. And because Laura's like, she's like, she even saying still, she's like, I still believe that he's mistaken. I still don't believe that that's who. Yeah, Laura doesn't want to believe it.
no, and I hate that. But the other thing is one of the things, you know, and this is not a bash on Laura at all. I want her to know that. But when I listened to your guys's, you know, your interview with her, when she was first asked about Cotton, she said that she said she knew him. Then she immediately said, "Well, I know of him," and then she finished it by saying, "I don't know him." Well, then we find out that she's riding with Glenda and Steven. Glenda used to be married to Cotton, so there's if she's been with um, Fred for 20 years or whatever, like she says, then there's a probability that she does know Cotton. And I'm not saying this to bash her, but just sort of trying to go all through the network and find out who is more capable of telling the truth or not, right? Like that's so it's for me, in my opinion, it just doesn't make her the most reliable reliable a messenger, I guess. That's my opinion only, right? And
Mhm.
it's, you know, I know she's got a lot going on, but there's some stuff going on with her and Fred that we'll never understand, right? And I'm not saying she's a liar at all. I'm not saying that. I just she's a hard read, you know.
Mm, I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't find I don't have think I've never thought anything felt like that they've lied or anything. So, but I understand if that's people's opinion. If they want to, if they believe, it's you can't trust anybody surrounding this case. So I understand. I mean,
And
but if I
that's all it was. It's just a different, you know, trying to take a different angle at looking at it. And you know, one of the things that I identified, you know, some of the gals around me said, "Hey, you know, when not today, which is Karen allegedly, and Laura, who was allegedly over there, once they realized each of them was in the same place, they kind of sort of took turns coming in and out, and." Like one would come in for a few minutes and, you know, say some things, and then they would seemingly go away, and the next one would come in. And so, you know, I don't know what that means. I'm not saying it's anything nefarious. I just identify that dynamic, but there definitely, by witnessing it all, there is a lot of heat coming from both of those sides, right? Like you've got quite the situation going on there with Fred's sisters and the two of them. So again, like I pray for some peace because, you know, Fred's going to need some real, you know, some real support going through the process he's going through. It's heavy duty, you know, and I really, you know, I hate to see anybody going through that, you know.
yeah, yeah, but it's not. It's but he shouldn't have been doing that kind of stuff. Like especially right out. I mean, you know, you got to know that the law enforcement is going to be watching the area. right after Summer goes missing and stuff. It wasn't the smartest thing to do. That's for sure. Um,
I would agree, and and if Laura's out there listening, I would also have, I would think about her best interest too. And in light of all the commentary, I think that one of the things that she needs to be careful about, potentially maybe in that area, is really talking about what Fred was involved in, because if Fred was involved in something that's not all the way on the level, she could really be associated to that too. It doesn't necessarily mean that she would have to be charged with that, but if, I don't know Laura's past, but if she gets convicted, pardon me, of this newest possession, and ended up having to do some time, then certain things could follow her. Like, they seem to be following Fred right now, right? Fred is, I guess, choked to death is essentially how it sounds, and then resuscitated. So, Lord only knows what someone would want to choke him out for. I hope it's. I mean, you can't even hope. Like, somebody meant him to be dead, right? That was the intent, for him to be dead, and it just didn't work out that way. And that's I guess the official opinion, or that maybe that was the opinion that I heard from KK Crime, I guess is her name.
mhm.
That's what she said to me, or commented to me. I just, I've heard many people kind of refer to that situation with the unalive term in it. And he said on the phone with you, "Hey, they put me on suicide watch." Well, I get it, but it's kind of different when you're the one that's beat up, and if you're having an issue with just one person and they're the aggressor, they typically move that person out, right? They're not going to move Fred out if he doesn't have problems with anybody else. He's sanctioned, for my opinion, and for a different reason. That's my opinion. I think he's being held somewhere that he doesn't want to be, because of something different than what he may be saying here.
Okay.
That's just my opinion. Also, if there were any sort of marks, abrasions, or anything like that that would be consistent with the choking, that could also be consistent with trying to unalive yourself in different forms, in that setting, right? So, I don't know. You have the pieces. It's just arranging them, right? And the way I had speculated and arranged them was, it would be sort of damaging if he had made an attempt on himself, after having taken what is an inconclusive test, because I don't know what he was told about those results. He could have been told, "Oh God, this is even worse than failing it. This is terrible right here." I mean, who knows what they told him, right? All of that stuff is not admissible. It's inadmissible. Anything post polygraph is inadmissible. So they really could have said anything. He could have said anything, and it's not on the record. So, I don't know how all the pieces line up. I know what people are saying and what they've said, but you've got all
Mhm.
the pieces, and you could arrange them differently to make it look a different way. No, I don't think anyone really, really knows.
Yeah. Um, yeah, somebody said yeah, that's not what happened. Somebody was saying that you were saying that Benny got, or that, I'm sorry, that Fred got beat up because of talking to me. That's not what happened, by the way.
No, listen. I mean, and I did say that, but there was a whole bunch of backlog and context that went with it, because I mean, you cannot fully understand the dynamic of what he's going through. No one can, because that situation is specific to him. But you can't discount the fact that there was a number of people. I don't know what the number was, right off the top of my head, but there were a number of people that were watching him on that video call. And you got to know this: there's a number of guys in there that they see him doing this and that, and you're on there and asking questions, and I'm sure they can hear. And that's really, it's not your fault. It's his fault for taking the call and really letting a lot of that
That
info
all
go.
happened before I even talked to him.
Do what?
That happened before I even talked to him, though.
What happened?
When he got choked out. That wasn't. I only talked to him. Had one video chat with him.
So the affidavit for the examination, it looks to have been created on 6/22, which does sort of correlate with talking to you on the line, whether it was the 21st, 22nd, or 23rd that you actually talked to him. But his Cotton's case has, like you said, been closed. It happened February 14th. So it seems like the things you have a piece to line up to say, well, he said something to her online, and now all of a sudden, bam, they're creating an order for a warrant for an examination. They examine him on the 27th, and then they issue the report on the 6th of July. So, the case was dormant in that way. Right? Dormant, like you said, it had been closed. So it's that there was a lot more context in it than just, I didn't say it just like that. There was a lot of more context.
Siggy played a recording. It wasn't live. Yeah.
But however, it's also you don't. There's certain things that you're signing up for when you sign the release to use the phones, right? You're signing up knowing it's going to be monitored. So knowing that it's going to be monitored, whatever you say on there can and will be used against you in the court. So they're not twisting your arm to use the phone or your leg, right? You're using the phone, and if you use the phone knowing the rights fully, and you say something that could harm your case, it's really shame on you, right? Not you, but shame on him, right? So
Cotton was 60. Sorry about that. Cotton was 60 when he passed away. They used a really young picture on his obituary for some reason, which he looked completely different because at one time he was a good-looking guy, but the drugs had affected him over the years. So yeah, he looked completely different than he did in his obituary.
and I know a local that told me that there's word around Beach Creek is that his car was, and I don't know anything about where the man lives or anything. His car was allegedly parked at the church by his house, and then on the front seat were his dentures and some adult magazines. And so there's some other stuff going on there, and allegedly, the word going around Beach Creek is that Cotton was around Fred's or around Fred socially somewhere, and Cotton was flashing a couple or a few $1,000s, and that it spooked Fred, and that he had kind of convinced Cotton to go ahead and go home. And then next thing you know, like, he's found at the bottom of the hill. So the local said, it would be interesting to know if he still had the few $1,000s with him at the bottom of the hill where they found him. So there is a lot of moving pieces with that.
Well, I would have a hard time. I mean, I understand him. No, it does look suspicious, but I don't know. I definitely, I, I could see. I guess more so him hurting an adult than a child. I guess I can't see him hurting anybody, but he's like freaking 150 pounds or something, like 6'2". He's, I don't know. But of course, Cotton too was an alcoholic and probably not very sure-footed, and his health was probably not the best either.
I don't know. It just seemed to be to me, and it's just kind of, I don't know. It's maybe trying to fill in the speculative context clues that you see in that affidavit of examination, and they went from it being an accident, allegedly, with the case closed, to looking at it as a first degree situation, right? The very first question is, did he plan this with someone else? And I'm guessing that those questions are more than likely like a spin-off speculation question from what he said, right? Whatever he said, I don't know. But you've got Fred that has knowledge of two illegal deaths in the same, in the Laurels, right? He knows about two of them. So lucky him, right? Like, how does he get to be the guy that knows all this? So, and I think that it seems like there's probably a lot that has to go into being able to even validate questioning him like that, right? He consented to the test as well. So he, he consented and it was an inconclusive. And,
Yeah, which is very strange because he's under the he's under the, he's what is truly under the impression that he passed. So I just don't
well,
understand
so
where
from what
that
I understand, I've been looking into it, and in the examiner world, an inconclusive test is looked at like an operator malfunction, right? Like the examiner, it basically goes into the pre-test, right? So inconclusive means that he didn't get a fair or enough baseline on the questions in the beginning of the pre-test, right? So um, the way that it works is they're asking you questions like, is your name Ziggy? Were you born on this date? What is the president's name? What year is it? Things that they can get a high probability that they know you're going to tell the truth, right? They
That's
say that,
not entirely true. They ask you lies as well to get a baseline.
sure, right? They might, but they
Not
went
they
straight
might,
to.
they do.
I don't
When
want to. I'm not trying to be combative with you, man, at all. I'm just saying that you're trying to get a baseline of one or the other, right? Um, and it's going to probably the probability it'll be easier to get baseline on truthful questions is probably a lot higher. Certain information you can ask them that they won't lie about, right? That's the play. So with an inconclusive test in the examiner world, it's looked at like the examiner was unprepared with the pretest questions, which could result in a second and even a subsequent third test in some situations. That's the available information I've seen. Like, that's the average of the available information. So what that means for Fred, I don't know, but he's got very very detailed knowledge of some situations. So he's going to have to navigate that.
Oh shit! Sorry guys, I didn't realize I was muted. Okay, listen. Somebody just sent me a very good point. That according to Fred is the truth. Okay, that I didn't think anything of it. I thought he was being silly, but he did say they asked him to lie for a baseline, and he said that he would not lie for them or for anybody. So I don't know what I was like. I just said LOL. I didn't think he was being actually serious. So maybe, and then because I just saw somebody's text that said maybe he didn't lie on the baseline questions. Well, according to Fred said he refused to lie even on the baseline because he said he won't lie for anybody. And I can show that what he said. And thank you so much. Who was it? Was it Beautiful Sunflower? You hope he goes up, clears with his. He told his viewers that I caused people to try to kill his. He is Benny. Oh my god. See, that's why I can't take him seriously because he goes and tells people like stuff like that. The situation with Fred happened before our phone call. Um. Okay. Let me
So
find.
wait, so let me get this straight. So Fred got assaulted in jail, and they're trying
Yeah.
to say it's because you did a call with him and other inmates overheard it.
No, that's freak. That's not true. That's what
I know
he is
it's not true,
telling
but
people.
is that what he was just trying to
Yeah,
say?
I guess that's according to others. That's what he was trying to tell people. But no, that did not. That's not at all what happened. Not even close.
Yeah.
Not that
Jane,
part.
Jane, I'm Kelly. I was on God, a while ago. I'm a trafficking survivor. So me and Ziggy became friends, and she had me on to give a point of view from a trafficking stance about the case. Sorry, I just kept seeing Jane ask who I was.
Oh, you're fine. You're good. Let me see if I can find here where he said I didn't know he was being serious when he told me he wouldn't lie for even the baseline.
Well, and that's why polygraphs are not admissible in court. I could pass a polygraph right now very easily. Anybody can do it. It doesn't, I mean, I don't remember all the science behind it, but they check like, your heart rate, breathing rate, different things like that. There's so many ways to beat them. And psychopaths do not even have to try. All you have to do is believe your lies to be true, and it'll show up that you're telling the truth. And that's why they don't use them. And to say that they don't ask you to lie, they absolutely do, and they have to, because
You know,
they have to see how you spike and certain things spike when you're lying.
right. They did ask him to lie because, and I'm trying to find his comment because I found it interesting as it stood out to me. He said they wanted me to lie, and I told them I wouldn't lie for them or for anybody. I was like, what the heck? You won't even lie for. I'm trying to find that comment. I didn't know he was being
It's like
serious.
the lies that they ask you to tell, it's like, and I don't know exactly what they asked him, but when I did a polygraph, I was asked to lie about like my address or my birth date. Like, it's very mundane things that they ask you to lie about.
He said, he said, they had me tell me them a number that I had wrote down, and they asked me to lie about what number I wrote down, but I don't lie
Yeah,
for no one.
which is a huge red flag, which would explain why it was inconclusive, because they didn't have a baseline for lying.
What do you? Okay, so what are you saying is a red flag?
If he refuses to lie, they're not going to have a baseline for what him lying looks like. And that would explain why the test was inconclusive, because they didn't know what
If
him.
that's true, I don't. You know, that's what
Yeah,
he says, but and I'm sure if I thought he was joking, I didn't know, but now that somebody mentioned it to me in
but
text,
inconclusive error
huh?
by an inconclusive polygraph does not automatically equal an error by the person giving it. It's also from someone trying to beat it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have
Yeah.
every on it because, like I said, they have to know how your body reacts and all the different things when you're lying, or they won't be able to tell the difference.
Tiffany invited Laura on her live, and then, which is fine. Like, I didn't try to discourage Laura to go or anything. I said, Laura is very sensitive, okay? So, and I just don't know how well she would do on that panel. But, huh? Sorry, 1 second. Let's see. I should have explained that to Fred. First quick question to ask you lies so I know that goddamn thing is working. Was Laura upset over? Well, there's a bunch of people sending her shitty messages and stuff. Oh, and Tiffany's message wasn't exactly. You guys should see. You guys should see the message that freaking Tiffany sent me. Well, Benny was on my panel. It's absolutely disgusting and disturbing. I wasn't even gonna say anything, but she is so bad. Let's see. I don't even know what she's fucking talking about. Like, what is she talking? She says, lie about me again, you fucking bitch. I dare you. I will drag you for fun every day for the next year and make bank off your name. I have plenty of time to do that. And I will. Fucking try me. Oh, I know you will. You are about as low as they come. Of course you will. You just fucked yourself. I'm not even giving you another chance. You will hate every day of your life. You fuck with Summer every time you do this shit, and I'm done being fucking nice to you. You can't discredit me, Ziggy. You are trash, garbage, fucking jumpster juice, and everyone knows it. Lay off the drugs, Ziggy. You're strung the fuck out, twitching psychopath. Really? It's 4 a.m. Well, I was at 3:17 a.m. Tiffany.
It sounds like a teenager.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh, I get so stressed with people's like. Okay, she was talking about herself, it sounds like. Well, what? She's just so gross. It sounds like she's on crack. That's the stuff that she sends me, and then she expects me. That's like over the top for no. I don't even remember saying anything rude.
Drama. Why is there so much drama on cases like this?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Tiffany's so angry when she gets blocked from a chat. No, I don't know. That's not. No, I just think she must be on a binge or something because that's just crazy to get that mad for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
It's been beautiful here since Tuesday night. It was kind of a crappy day in Indiana today. Well, Thursday. When she gets, let me see, what's this say in the private? Okay. Well, for killing Fred. Yeah, I guess that they were trying to say, I guess Benny and Tiffany were trying to say that, um, trying to say something about me killing Fred or just absolutely ridiculous stuff. Sounds like you all fighting a romance.
I don't know how you do it.
Ziggy will her have him. Oh, what? Yeah, it's too stressful. Hey, G Crime, how are you?
Hey, I'm gonna hop off though.
Okay, yeah, no problem. No problem. Sorry, that it's
You're
boring
fine.
today. Late night, not not much going on.
I
All
was just
right.
scrolling through TikTok and I'm like, so got the notification. I'm like, thank God, because this app is driving me crazy.
Well, thank you so much for coming up here. I appreciate it.
No, anytime you have any questions or anything, just let me know.
Okay, for
All right.
sure.
I don't know how to leave.
Oh. Don't. Oh, no, 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 no. I'm just reading messages. You guys, I'm sorry. I'm just confused. I'm truly trying to remember what I said to get Tiffany that mad. I guess it's just once again fake drama. I did say something like she said told her to explain herself. I did say that. On the couch with broken thumb for past 7 weeks. Ow. That's uncool, Tiffany. Way uncool. Stopping drinking tonight. Huh? What live was struck and taken down? Was Vinny's live taken down or something? I didn't strike it. So did Benny move in with Tiffany now? She literally just threatened you. We all heard it. Yeah, like she thinks I really. She thinks that I really. Like I'm really worried about her dragging me for fun every day for the next year and make bank off my name. Like she thinks like I'm scared or something. Well, that doesn't make sense if they think I struck them, but it was actually a music company. That's a completely different type of strike because you don't even get a strike for that type of strike. Have you ever met Tiffany? No. I have never met her. I don't know if anybody's ever really met her. Have they? Hey, Trinda. Tons of deaths surrounding this case. Yes, there has been tons of deaths surrounding the case for sure. That ain't no lie. Good Lord. What are you kids doing over there? Somebody said 95% of what they said was false. Imagine that. I can totally believe that. Marissa did. I don't think she met Tiffany. I think she video chatted and stuff with her. Smoke some more because it ain't working. Was it Fred who shot someone and was found he had it in self-defense, or was it? It was Fred. Bucky said hello too. My friend, he's never seen YouTube chats before. Oh, that's funny. Sorry about the. But yes, it was determined to be self-defense. Well, tell your friend Bucky I said hi. I said hi, Trinda. Is that really his name? Shush it. Calm down. No. No. Down. No. I'm trying to think. Do I have any? Well, guys, I guess I'll probably. Sorry that it was so late. We'll do a live during a normal time tomorrow or today, basically today. Going through people's replays, and Fred was consistent with every interview you did with him. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not gonna discredit him or Laura until I have an absolute reason to. If everybody else wants to for no reason, go ahead. Just because they don't like me or something, go ahead. But the only thing I can think of, like I said, I can't imagine Fred hurting anybody. But the only absolute possibility I can think of is like maybe he found out Cotton hurt Summer or something, but I can't imagine. I just really can't imagine it because I told Laura that, and Laura said she's like, I don't think so. He would just go to the law. So but of course she's gonna have to be careful what she says, probably. Thank you, Sunshine. I was very uncomfortable with it, though. It threw me off. Because he kind of takes over conversations. Oh, it's 6 p.m. Friday night. Here it is 4 a.m. Friday morning. Knows who did. I think if he knew something about a child's unaliving, I think he would say something. But like, but at the same time, I don't. Know them, I guess. I just can't see it. Don't you get constipation? Stop. Was that really Ernie in here earlier? Good night, darling. Hit the like button, you guys. I didn't do my little survey thing that I copied off of Justin, but it's kind of a laid back live. Who was that, Giselle? It wasn't Ernie. Does he get along with Smiley? Shannon keeps talking about cheese and constipation.
You pooped in the refrigerator, and you ate the whole wheel of cheese? How'd you do that? Actually, I'm not even mad. That's amazing.
Oh gosh. Andy's family tried to off one of the Simpsons for you. What are you doing? Okay. Ew, spoonfuls of blue cheese. Oh my gosh, no, it's too sour tasting or ugh. I know. Right, Sheba? I'm seeing her like, dang, I don't have anything like sweet to eat. Kind of wanting to do a reading. If I can't sleep, I need to go to bed so I could be. I like doing the daytime lives. That was Dynamite on panel with. Yeah, I don't understand what's up with Dynamite because I guess it's a she, she used to be really cool with me, and then as soon as some people turned on me that she was cool with, she went right along with them, and now is like thinks it's cool to talk shit about me. A reading on what, Margie? I just don't like doing readings on Summer Wells case because I feel like I know too much to do an accurate reading. Because my opinions and what I no kind of interfere. Oh my gosh, French onion soup. If you ever go, I don't think so, Jane. If you ever go to South Beach, if you like French onion soup, there's a place called Paul's. Get their French onion soup. It is so good. They put the best freaking cheese, like the biggest clump of cheese in it, and it is good. Like these people are like legit like French. They also have a place in New York too, I think, just New York and South Beach. It's called Paul's. Get their French onion soup. Issue with another thing you say it themselves. Right, Jane? Dynamite is a he? Are you sure? Because I know I was confused. I thought that it was, I remember being confused and thinking Dynamite was one gender, and then they're like, no, she said she was using a voice changer or something. So a guy? Okay, well, Dino is a she. That's what I thought. I'm pretty sure she told me that she was a she before she decided she hated me overnight one night. Ew, snails. If it's traditional French onion, it's provolone. Yeah, I think that's the cheese that they use. RJ is provolone. It is so good. All right, guys. I'm going to get off here. Everybody have a good night. And for those who have real jobs, happy Friday, last day of your work week. Talk to you guys later.